Presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to the Monday Morning Recap at a sharp 5 p.m. crisp East Coast time. You're welcome. As always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposit all the way up to $1,000. Get off the couch and get into the action today with MyBookie.com. Make sure to use that promo code Drinkin Bros to double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.com. Had a lot of money on the line this weekend, as you'll see in the title of our show. Will TCU run the table? Had a lot of money on Texas, and I lost that. Delco, I lost that money.
It's a damn shame.
Man.
Real shame.
I told you not to do that.
That was the only...
I told you at least 3 times in that show not to make that bet.
I think that was the only loss. The problem was it was on all of my parlays. All of them.
I know. What's unfortunate is TCU is undefeated and Max Duggan is nowhere near the Heisman conversation because he only threw for like 130 yards.
Yeah, yeah. That team is awful. Who's worse? Who's
They're not awful. They're
not great. They're not great. Look, Texas. It was 3-0 at halftime. For Texas in the Texas Longhorns program here, I hate to keep talking about this team, but it seems like week after week they come up, not because they're good, but
they're
caught up
win
in
for TCU.
Exactly, exactly, and they're still ranked, so we have to keep talking about them on our show.
Texas is basically like Notre Dame now. It's a good fucking part of your schedule that you won.
Yes,
during the year.
And I don't get it because they're 6-4. And they still remained at number 18 in the country.
And they've got a rookie.
Deep.
They've got a rookie quarterback with a new system and a bunch of new players. Of course, they're fucking middling this year. They'll probably be better next year. I would expect them to be like a 9-2.
Mattress Mac said they're going to win a natty in the next 3 years.
If Urban Meyer goes there, I agree with him. But Sarkey isn't the guy. You have the best running back in the nation. Why isn't he getting 50 carries? Instead, you're throwing with Quinn Ewers, who, let's face it, has been fucking awful.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to implement a new system, especially at this point in the season, does it really matter if you get the most out of every single game, or does it matter that you develop your team?
That's a great question. So I posed this to some Texas friends of mine over the weekend, some Longhorns fans, and I said, because at this game, it was the night game, College Game Day was there and everything else, and I said, why is this game so important to you guys? Because tickets were high. Ticket prices were high for this game.
For uppers,
yeah.
But also, if you are a college coach, do you care about the longevity of like your star players, like a running back? You're not going to give them 50 carries because you want them to kind of succeed at the next level as well, because it's almost like a recruiting tool.
Well, yeah, exactly. And man, you perfectly segued into what I was about to say. So as the recruiting tool, this was the game. They usually pick one a year to bring all your recruits to, the top recruits in the nation, right? This was their game, so they had 80 of their top recruits at this game. Now, it was 3-0 at halftime, and there was a video that went viral that was trending of Arch Manning, because Arch Manning was also there at this. And he whispered something to somebody he was with, and it appeared to be, man, thinking about decommitting now, and it seemed like a joke or something else. Now, I don't know if that was Oklahoma fans or somebody else that were saying this, but it looked the optics were bad when it's 3-0 at halftime.
You know, he's like thinking about decommitting. Just take him by the fucking Zeta house afterwards, and you know,
do that anywhere in the country.
I mean,
anywhere in the country.
Isn't he a 3-star?
No, Manning is
but he's a 5-star.
He's a glorified.
I think he's a 3-star.
He's a 5-star, but he plays on a 3.
No,
it's a 2A team,
2A school,
right?
Not that any of this matters.
Yeah.
Well, it matters for next year, right? Because for Texas, do you just go all in on Arch? I mean, the numbers for fucking Ewers were he was 17 of 39.
Right.
For 171
yards. Do we
yards.
factor in also Quinn rushed back from injury?
Came back too soon.
I feel like
you know why he came back? He needed 8 games to get the NIL money.
And if you've got a mullet like that, you should be immune to injury in the first place. I don't buy it.
But Bijan Robinson, the best running back in the country, had 12 carries for 29 yards.
He's getting shut down.
So keep going. It's a 17-10 game. That was the final of this fucking.
Who's the best receiver on Texas's team?
Well, that's the problem.
Exactly.
So Texas has no receivers.
So they're stacking the box on Bijan Robinson. There's not. Look, I don't care how good of a running back you are. There's only so much you can do if you don't fucking have a secondary part of your offense. You know what I mean?
But you have a guy in Quinn Ewers here, and I'm going to go full Collinsworth on this. That was a year at Ohio State in that quarterback room, which is fucking loaded. And then he comes to Texas, ready to play. These numbers are inexcusable. 17 of 39. The week before, he was 19 of 39. Maybe he's just not fucking good.
Also, if you want to talk about first year in the system, this is first year under Sonny Dykes at TCU.
Yeah.
Do you believe in Sonny Dykes?
I love Sonny Dykes.
Okay.
Sonny Dykes is a good coach.
Yeah, he is, and he's in the perfect spot. This is exactly where he should be.
Why?
Well, he's a good old boy. Cal was not a good fit. That was a bizarre situation. And SMU is unfortunately not a Power 5 program. TCU is a Power 5 program, but it's not a high pressure power. It's a high ceiling Power 5 program without being a high pressure.
And he already had established recruiting pipeline in Dallas.
Just went across the fucking interstate.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah, he has his perfect job.
So for TCU, and I know you're a huge fan of this team. I am not. I think it is a complete dog shit team. I've actually flip-flopped, though, because I hope they get into the playoffs now. And if Ohio State beats Michigan, this is my dream matchup. It'd be the best.
Well, I'm hoping Illinois beats Michigan this week. And then Michigan beats Ohio State.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But a one-loss Big Ten champion would get in.
Yes, I think that's where I'm going to go with this, and we'll talk about it in a second. But if you're looking at it, TCU's quarterback.
Well, then Purdue wins the Big Ten.
They're going to win on that side, it looks like, after this weekend. You know that, right?
Yeah, they have the tiebreaker.
That's what I would.
Correct. Yeah. So you got Duggan, the quarterback of TCU, 124 yards passing, and they won the game.
He's just a winner. He's like a Tebow type, but in college.
Tebow in college, that was throwing for 300.
Tebow in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He just wins, man.
He just wins, baby.
Quinn Ewers on the season, 55.2% completion percentage.
My God.
That's just about at a Power 5 school. That's one of the worst I think I've ever seen.
I want to see what the numbers were before he got hurt.
How many games did he play, though? Like 2?
All the way to the Bama game, yeah.
Bama
that's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, Bama was the second week.
Yeah.
And also the first week, I think they kind of played a nobody, right? So
They played a Division II school.
I'm sure he picked them apart.
Well, I mean,
he was tearing up Alabama.
No, he was 67%, I guess, 16 to 24. That's 2/3. And then against Bama, he was 9 for 12, which is 3/4, so 75%. But,
I think
since then.
Maybe
he's been really fucking bad.
Again, it was collarbone, right?
Here's my thing, though. Like, he's a fucking baby.
He's
like
a stud.
He give him time. Everyone can't be like fucking Johnny Manziel.
Out of the womb, yeah. Well, Manziel was a red shirt. So, I mean, this is...
Well, he's a red shirt, too, right?
Technically, but he came in at 17.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's even... He is the age of a college freshman right now. Like, this is like what happens... We're doing with quarterbacks what too many programs do with coaches, which is they're like, "What? We won a national championship in the 3rd year. You're fucking fired."
Right.
Like, it's fucking insane.
We're impatient as hell.
Yes, and I think the problem is the top programs like a Bama or an Ohio State are having success with true freshmen in there, and that's fucking it up for everybody else, where Texas considers itself a top program.
Yeah, but you got C.J. Stroud at the helm. Right.
But that's what I'm saying. But he's had success. He could win the Heisman after this game. I hope it doesn't fuck you over.
Seems like he's the favorite. Right
and I really don't know why. I'm still on Hendon Hooker. I'm with you on this one. But when you have a Stroud, when you have a Bryce Young, and you have these guys that are freshmen, and you consider yourself a top program like that, I think they put more pressure on these kids. And I do think it's unfair. But with
also,
Arch Manning coming in, that's going to ramp it up.
That's fine. If you're going to recruit quarterbacks, you got to make them work against each other or compete with each other. But like.
Just throw a knife into the middle of the room.
Yeah. That's the way. I mean, if you want to find who the winner is,
like the Joker.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like, fuck, what was I say? These dudes essentially are the dudes on Ohio State and Bama and shit like that. They come in surrounded by 5 stars, and Texas doesn't have that right now. Like, Texas doesn't have the receivers that like Bryce Young had last year or Stroud has this year, or whatever the fuck. So of course those dudes are going to do better than Ewers. Like
Herman didn't.
There's doing better, and then there's 55% completion percentage
for sure. And the other thing too is though, like, we're treating like maybe these top tier quarterbacks and then these tier right below them quarterbacks like they're only one grade below each other. Like the top 1%. Like if you're in the 2% versus the 1%, that doesn't mean you're only like 1%. Like if it's
also
like 12 or something,
competition too. Like the Big 12 is a beating each week.
Yeah,
it's not like Drake May is tearing it up in the ACC as a freshman, but again, it's the ACC.
Yeah, he's fucking beating nobodies.
Yeah. The other part of this could be the coaching too. I don't think Sark is the guy. He fucking sucks. He sucked at the Falcons and drove our fucking organization into the ground.
He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's off the booze now. Maybe he needs to get back on.
Get on. There's 1,000 distilleries around us, but I think the other part too, not only with not giving quarterbacks enough time, as coaches enough time. When you look at the success of USC and Lincoln Riley year one, these guys are competing for that last spot in the CFP. Year one there. And as much as it pains me to say this, and it really does, your boy fucking Kelly down in LSU, man, beating Bama.
We told you he's going to win a natty there.
You guys said this.
Yeah, but, I mean, they didn't look very impressive against Arkansas.
They sure didn't. But they're still winning, and they're going to the SEC championship.
The landscape.
They have to win next week.
So. No. They're in no matter what.
They're in no matter what, yeah.
They're playing UAB next week.
Correct. So it's not a...
Wait, no, but don't they have one more game against A&M?
Yeah, but even if they lose another SEC game, they're
because Ole Miss lost.
They win the tiebreaker
Yeah,
against Bama. Yeah, so they're in. And you can say whatever you want if they're shitty or not. And I think they're still kind of shitty after this Arkansas game, because that was miserable and it was 13-10. He still took them to an SEC championship year one, beat Bama year one. And everybody's looking at your program like a Texas and being like, the fuck, man? This guy's been in the system and he can't recruit one goddamn receiver? It's wild.
Yeah, it seems like there's some life cycle to these college coaches that are super dominant, where they go from the rising up-and-comer, probably from some previous coaching chain that was really good, coaching tree rather was really good, into a dominant force that intimidates everybody, then into a dominant force with a target on their back, and then to receding, which is where Alabama is right now, right?
Yep.
But LSU also has a talent pool where you show up on campus and you're like, that's a professional football team. Like, it should not take a lot of coaching to win a natty with LSU.
So does Texas. And all of these five-star wide receivers that are coming out of Texas are going to Ohio State.
Right, but LSU keeps everyone in state.
Right, somehow.
LSU locks down the borders, yeah.
Well, Louisiana is a weird state in general. Nobody wants to leave that state for some reason.
They're just
because they only date their relatives and they're all in the state.
Yeah, and also it's they can't. If they go to the rest of America, they have to learn a new language.
Yeah,
that's true.
But yeah,
that's true.
Like what Georgia is right now, what Alabama was about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And they're probably going to have another 2 years of unbridled success like this, and then there's a target on their back, and people are going to be coming like every week. You don't see it right now. People aren't giving. Like the last 2 or 3 years, Alabama gets the fucking business from everybody every single week, no matter who it is. Yep. Georgia, I don't think has hit that yet. I don't see that happening right now.
I don't
Tennessee
either.
Came out, did okay for a little bit, but then it was just like blasting them right.
That game wasn't close. That game was
And there was a garbage touchdown in that game, or that would have been a lot worse.
They had
game.
Tennessee had their arms around that game. Like the thing that makes those type of games super competitive, it's why Tennessee beat Alabama, by the way. It's because they were fucking tuned up.
Yep.
They were getting pressure on the quarterback the whole time.
They were at home.
Yeah. I mean, being at home helps, certainly, but the level of effort, like, this is Alabama, we can beat them, we just got to do a little bit more than we normally do. Georgia's in that space right now where it's like, man, we probably can't beat these guys, but we're going to give it our best effort. You know what I mean? Honestly, that's at some point, it'll
the best way to
curtail.
beat Georgia is to catch them on like a sleepy night in
Columbia, Missouri. Yeah,
exactly. Now, I said last week this would shake itself out this weekend, and one of these guys would be gone. It would be TCU or Oregon. I was correct in that. Oregon is now off the map. I don't have to talk about these fucks anymore. Washington beat them, thank God, at home. You said Bo Nix was a different Bo Nix. Well, it was the same Bo Nix in this game. 224 yards passing there.
Okay.
Oregon is done.
If TCU loses a game and USC wins out, including the Pac-12 championship, who gets in?
No, Tennessee's in. Tennessee's going to run the table. Tennessee's in.
But Tennessee's not going to win the. They don't have to play in the SEC championship. Yeah.
And that was my next question.
You don't think they get penalized for not playing in and winning their title?
No, because Tennessee's wins. They destroyed LSU, who's currently like right behind them. Alabama.
Yep.
They have the quality wins. Like Tennessee's in. They went out. They're in.
I think they're in as well. Now
USC is finishing against UCLA, then against Notre Dame, both of whom are ranked, and that would be 3 ranked wins for them.
And then they'll have to play in the championship.
They'll have to play Oregon. I would still say
Oregon.
Oh yeah.
Who will probably still be ranked then? So that'll be 4.
Ranked highly. Yeah.
So are you sure about that?
Well, hang on. I watched this USC game. They lost their starting running back. It appeared to be an ACL, and he's done for the year. So Jermaine Dye is out for the year. So I'm not really sure what happens to that program after this because that guy was the heart and soul of this team. So
Caleb Williams is the heart and soul of this team.
This guy, dude, I'm telling. Did you watch the game? Players from both sides came over to the cart and walked out on the field, and I haven't seen that in a college football game maybe ever. And I was like, holy shit, dude, what's the story with this guy? I don't really know his background, but I had never seen it in a game before, and it was a big fucking deal. Man, I just don't see how USC can run the table. That's 3 tough opponents left.
And if they do run the table, it's a pretty impressive resume. You have Oregon State, who's now ranked. They went to Corvallis, beat Oregon State.
Yeah.
And they would finish the season with how many ranked wins? A lot.
A lot.
If they win the Pac-12 with 1 loss, they're in.
They should.
Probably.
Easily.
I don't
and it's
know.
USC, so it's not even like
that's what I'm asking.
Like it's a brand. They're not going to keep a fucking brand.
That's what I'm asking.
Right.
Does Tennessee
in a major market?
Does Tennessee get penalized for the other team in their division having the tiebreaker for getting into
They
the
fucking
SEC?
should.
I mean,
I
it kind
they-
of sucks, but it is what it is.
Both
right?
can get in, really.
Well, no, can they? So let me pose this to you.
Well,
okay?
if TCU's out, right?
No, let's say TCU runs the table, and I don't think the Big 12 is very fucking good. So I think there is a shot now.
Big 12 is very.
I thought
wouldn't
Texas
say
was the best chance to do it.
the Big 12 isn't like. There's no elite team in
A lot of parity,
Big 12, but it's very
it's deep. Yeah.
But with that, so let's say you have this scenario, okay? I think Georgia beats LSU in the SEC championship. Is everybody on board with that? I think
so.
I want chaos.
I know you want chaos, but do you think Georgia runs?
But I also want Georgia to win so LSU doesn't steal a spot too, because I have a Tennessee at 18-1 ticket to win the Natty.
Okay, so Georgia goes undefeated, right? Ohio State or Michigan play in 2 weeks. That will knock out one of them. Both of them will win the Big Ten championship because the other side is completely collapsed.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say Michigan loses this week to Illinois, but
It's
then
not going to
beats
happen.
Ohio
Oh my
State.
God, dude! Just throw that.
A
out the window.
one-loss conference champion is getting in.
Yes,
What if Purdue wins?
Well, then nothing happens.
nothing happens.
I know.
But God damn it, will you just shut the fuck up, man? I mean, just turn it off. I mean, fuck me.
We're just asking.
No, just trying to have a conversation here, a realistic conversation with real fucking people, dude. Not in some dream world where we drop acid and then just say, oh, well, what if this happens? What if a fucking bomb carrier just bashes into the building right now and blows up the show? Georgia undefeated. Ohio State, Michigan, one of them has 1 loss. TCU goes undefeated. Tennessee has 1 loss. USC has 1 loss. Who gets in?
The conference champions.
Yes,
for
the conference
sure.
champions are 100% getting in over Tennessee.
Yeah. But it may also depend on how you lose, right? So if TCU goes into the Big 12 conference championship and that's their only loss and they get fucking shithoused,
Well,
they may not make it. Right?
TCU is not getting in unless they win their conference.
Probably
Well,
not.
I think
just
they have to
because
go
it's not getting in
undefeated.
unless they go undefeated.
Yeah,
Undefeated.
just because of the strength of schedule, probably.
Yeah.
You're right. But like,
But they have a good resume too.
And also, they don't want to put TCU in.
They don't.
No, they don't.
no.
They don't have any fans. They don't travel. They don't really do
They
anything.
don't. It's a small private school.
It
Like
is.
it's a nightmare scenario because at least USC has T-shirt fans.
Yeah.
I mean, you basically aren't a
Yeah.
USC fan unless you're a T-shirt fan.
I don't know, man. TCU's got 4. They've got 5 ranked wins already. This
But then
year.
so would USC.
They have the resume. TCU has the resume. So if they go undefeated, they're in.
all three of like Tennessee, USC, TCU. They all have like a really good resume.
Yeah.
Yes. So, so with the Big Ten, is the loser of Ohio State and Michigan then out?
Yes.
They should keep the whole Big Ten
I
out.
don't know that that's true. Actually, if it's a close game, if it's like a 28-31 game or something like that, I don't
they're
think you
out.
can because Michigan and Ohio State are better than TCU, better.
Yeah, but they haven't
than
beaten anybody.
USC.
Yeah. Their strength of schedule is
Say
dog
Michigan's
shit.
best win is Penn State, I guess.
Ohio State's, let's
Probably
see,
both. It's
Notre
both is Penn
Dame,
State.
Ohio State, it's Notre Dame and Penn State. Those are their 2 best wins so far. If they beat Michigan, then yeah, I mean, they're obviously in
Right.
there.
I'm saying
but
if Ohio State win, I think
loses.
Ohio State's going to win. So Michigan,
I'm not sure.
I think Michigan's resume, their schedule, and everything is just so soft that you can't overlook. I mean, if they're 1 loss and they're not a conference champion, you keep them out. They're not in.
Yeah, they're not in at all.
What if Clemson comes back and wins the conference
With 1 loss
as well?
They're the first out. If all the other teams win their conferences, if USC wins their conference, TCU wins their conference, Michigan or Ohio State wins their conference, and Georgia
With 1 loss?
1 loss or no loss.
Be a good year
Because
for the
Clemson also
extended
has 1
playoff.
loss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ACC's so bad. They're the first conference champion out.
Right.
Yeah.
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 There were the Big 12 is better than the ACC. Really
100%.
that much?
Oh, so much better.
So much better.
I don't think so.
I don't
No,
either.
the ACC is so bad.
I know, but they've like
It's not even close. Like North Carolina.
Clemson, North Carolina,
NC State.
Florida State.
No,
is
NC State's not
ranked.
even ranked.
Yeah,
Right.
NC State's not ranked.
Well, they just got out of the
Wait,
rankings
is Wake
now.
still ranked?
No.
Yeah, Wake Forest.
No, they're
North
not
Carolina
ranked
just beat
anymore.
Wake.
Yeah.
Wake is out.
And
Wake
also,
stinks.
you got to remember the bottom half of the ACC is they're like
Miami.
they would be in the bottom half of the American. Like that's how bad these
Syracuse.
teams are.
Syracuse.
Vanderbilt won this week.
Yeah, they beat Kentucky,
God
dude.
damn.
I
took a bath on that.
dude.
a big
I will
bath
say
on that
this:
game.
I was very annoyed when Missouri played Vandy by how feisty Vanderbilt was. Like I was just like, dude, know who you are. Let us have this win. God damn it, Vanderbilt.
Clemson beat Louisville, and Ukulele had 185 yards.
I thought they weren't playing him anymore. They put him back in.
I put him back in, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Klubnik goes in, throws an interception, and then he
Yeah.
gets benched.
He threw an interception on his first play because he got rocked by a fucking linebacker.
Yeah. No, I mean, I want North Carolina to win the ACC, but they have no chance to make
Well,
the
the good
playoffs.
news is with this, I think this Ohio State-Michigan game should solve part of this problem.
Yes.
The week after next. The bad news for Ohio State continues. The backup running back broke his ankle in this game and was carted off in the first half. He is now out for the season. They are down to a true freshman who is going to be red-shirted. He had to play, so I guess he's going to lose a year doing it. And then they had to actually convert a linebacker to the running back position. That is now your backup running back
And
at
he'll
Ohio
probably
State.
go for 150 yards next week against Maryland. Like,
Well, Maryland I don't care about, right? But Michigan, you can't not have a starting running back against Michigan.
Even though Michigan's schedule is fucking just baby dick soft,
It's so
like
soft.
Michigan, I don't know, man. They look pretty fucking good to me. Like I said this a couple of shows ago. Like
yeah, it looked really good against Hawaii.
Harbaugh has found an identity at Michigan finally.
First time they're 10-0 since I think 06.
Yeah, they have. This is something they've actually been doing for a while, but they've got like a super lean and fast edge rushing unit. They're really fucking fast. And we saw, what was that dude's name that went to the linebacker that went to Pittsburgh? Minka Fitzpatrick, is that his name?
Yes.
Is he the one?
Safety.
No.
No, it's who's the guy that went to Pittsburgh, the linebacker from Michigan.
Shit.
Anyways,
I forget his name.
they've had not quite so good as Ohio State had an edge rushing lineage, but they put that together, and now Michigan is a fucking ground and pound team, man.
Yeah.
Which
And
you wouldn't expect. But you can't be a high risk on offense and a defensive team at the same time, because eventually, because of the 3 and outs or the interceptions or turnovers, your defense is going to get overexposed and you're going to lose games. Right? This is a good combination for Harbaugh. I agree with
So
that.
to your point, Dan, in Nebraska, they beat Nebraska 34-3 over the weekend. 28 carries for Corum for 162 yards. More than likely, he's in the top 5 for the Heisman finalists.
He's limiting his exposure on offense and letting his defense get the job done.
Well,
which is pretty-
here's the crazy part. Their quarterback, the starting quarterback for Michigan in this game, had 8 total completions for 129 yards against Nebraska. Now, Nebraska is an awful team.
They're starting JJ, right?
Yes, it's J.J. McCarthy. So will that be able to hold up? And I guess it'll just be on Ohio State's defense to stop the run because they don't have a quarterback there.
well,
He's better than Cade.
Yeah,
So
he's
they're a
not-
little bit more two-dimensional than they were last year.
He was 8 of 17 in this game
I don't know.
at
It's
home.
all he needed to be. Yeah. They blew him out. In fact, they only have one game that wasn't a blowout. I know they only beat Iowa by 13, but 13 against Iowa's offense is a fucking thousand. So.
Iowa's defense is
Right.
really good.
Yeah.
Iowa's defense, yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's why I like Michigan a lot, is because other than the Maryland game, I mean, no game's been close.
That was weird.
That was a weird game for sure. But Maryland is weird. It's a weird team. Like, if Maryland played Ohio State close this weekend, I wouldn't be worried or surprised, just because they're just weird.
It's a big spread. It's 28 in that one. They did, on mybookie.com, release a Ohio State-Michigan spread at 7, which that's the first time it's been under double digits for Ohio State the entire year. So I'm surprised. 7 seems like a lot. It's Ohio State minus 7 in that one. That seems like a lot of points.
Don't they typically say home field advantage is about a touchdown?
It's usually, a 2 versus 3 matchup. I would have said 3.5. That's where I would have put the Vegas line, I guess. So it's double that, and it's not a lot of respect to Michigan. So we'll see. It's going to be a fun game because Ohio State has no running backs. Michigan only runs the ball. Something has to give in that one, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but
This is an
Oregon
ugly-
is all done.
This is an ugly week for betting in college football too, by the way.
It is because everybody's looking ahead for the last week, for rivalry week.
These are all tune-up games, basically.
They're trap games, man. It's because, like you were said, this Maryland team is fucking dirty and gritty, and it wouldn't surprise me if they
Talk
covered
about
that spread.
dirty. We got to play the fucking troops.
Yeah, it's 27 and
You
a
do?
half.
Yeah, we got to play Navy.
Fuck.
I hate playing
They're
Navy.
seamen.
Everybody does.
They're not troops.
All right, well, the sailors.
Oh, technically they're midshipmen when they're at
Yeah.
the naval.
Whatever. I
Academy,
hate
but-
Navy either way.
Navy just played Notre Dame very close. It was 35-32 in that one.
The Navy is basically Uber for people that actually fight. So there's that.
Send that hate to at Dan Holloway on
Yeah,
Instagram.
you can send it all, and I'll fucking send it right back, you fucking squid piece of shit. Anyways, speaking of my bookie, I right before we started the show, they posted on their Instagram, and Georgia, I don't know if you have the ability to pull this up right now, but if you can pull up my bookie's Instagram, apparently Michael Jordan's oldest son is now dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Oh, for real?
Marcus,
they-
he
they've-
actually went
yes.
to UCF.
Yes, so they've come out and said this is an official relationship.
You never miss a fucking chance, do you?
Well, yeah, he's one of our best basketball
outta
players.
here.
He's actually the only person that anybody knows from UCF.
There's
which is
so
great.
many people
People know
because
Scott
it's the
Frost.
largest school.
Well,
in
when you
there.
start fucking Scottie
He didn't go
Pippen's
to. He didn't go
ex-wife,
to.
No, he didn't go
You a big
there.
Diplo fan?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the UCF guy.
That is the most
Okay.
on fucking brand.
God damn it,
alum
dude.
you could
Yeah.
possibly
That is
have.
the alum of
Did
all
Pitbull
alums
go
for
there, too?
UCF, yeah.
No, he
Daniel-
went to Miami.
Daniel Tosh.
Yeah, that's probably the
Okay,
biggest.
that's a good
slip.
one.
Yeah, so here's the
Yep.
Scottie Pippen's ex-wife with somebody she probably met as a child.
What did
Yeah,
Scotty?
yeah, a small
Did
child.
meet her as a child, yeah.
What did Scotty do to her? Because she keeps making the rounds on all of like his.
I
So
told you
he-
she didn't get the alimony settlement she wanted to.
That, and then he cheated on her relentlessly, and she put up with it for years and years, and now it's just a fucking revenge tour for her.
I just
And this
really
is what it is.
this is one of the reasons I always enjoy my bookie because they post fucked up shit all the
They've
time.
got a great Instagram,
Yeah, you should
actually.
follow their Instagram. It's really funny.
Yeah. You should follow that. We'll flop on over to the NFL. Man, wild weekend in the NFL. I actually enjoyed it. That Bills-Vikings game was the game of the fucking decade. Holy shit.
Well, it was the game of the decade for the Vikings. The Bills had it won, and then Josh Allen collapsed in the second half.
He did.
That's
Get-
what happened.
This Josh Allen is equal to Pat Mahomes shit off my fucking porch. I don't want to hear it anymore.
A lot of people are saying that today.
It did. So if you watched,
he like slang the ball with like a bad wing. He had like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He
Pretty
also
good.
fumbled on the goal line.
Yeah, but he looked. I
and
mean,
he threw an interception in
he's
the end
injured.
zone. And
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
rough. I mean, it was,
He ain't won shit.
they
Paul.
were up, 30-16 and lost by 3.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Vikings are elite.
They might be.
They're elite in the regular season, sure. But he was still only 30 for 50. Kirk Cousins was. It's still not that great. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
but
60,
Kirk's
like
going to do what
60%.
Kirk's going to do. You know?
But Justin Jefferson made one of the best catches I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Stephon Diggs also made one of the best catches I've ever seen in my that.
Yes.
He goes up with one hand, catches the ball, and then continues spinning as he catches it. And I'm like, all right, cool.
I would
At
say
no
of all-
point in my life could I have done something like that.
Ever.
Of
Like
all
you-
the things
Yeah.
in the NFL where that like I like college football better in every way except the one way you can tell these are pros compared to college is the fucking catches the receivers
Yeah,
make
it's
are
ridiculous.
unfucking believable.
But that was a great game. I don't know if the other overtime game, the Packers and Cowboys, that one's really funny.
It was a good game. So my biggest complaint about this Bills-Viking game, real quick, Justin Jefferson had 10 receptions for 193 yards. My God, this guy is a fucking superstar. My biggest complaint about this is locally, and I don't know if this happened to everybody else, they shut the game off in overtime because it had gone to...
and they put on the
Because the
fucking
Cowboys
Packers.
game.
Yeah.
Packers
So was that
Cowboys.
just
That was
Texas?
just local.
Oh, you want to know? But no.
Oh, so that's just local.
Yeah, worse than
God
that.
damn it, dude.
Fucking last weekend or 2 weekends ago, this area, the Austin area specifically,
Mm-hmm.
got taken away a really good game. I forget which one it was, and they gave us instead like the Colts versus the Texans, or not even Colts versus Texans, Colts versus somebody because fucking Sam Ellinger was starting.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's what I said to somebody. I go, why is this game on other than the quarterback for Texas who sucks?
Yes.
Is playing quarterback.
That was the
for
only
Colts.
reason. It was because Sam Ellinger was
God
fucking starting. I
damn
was
it,
so
man.
pissed.
Speaking of the Colts, can we just all become coaches now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeff Saturday, we owe you an apology, sir. You were undefeated and you beat Josh Daniels, Josh McDaniels, he's done, right?
I don't owe anybody an apology because I said this was going to happen.
No,
Oh yeah, you did. You were actually the only one. I'm shocked. I didn't bet it because it was the Raiders, luckily. So everybody who's in Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook, you're welcome. Just simply because this was the Raiders, I didn't bet this game. But if I was in Vegas alone, I would have fucking bet this game.
Yeah. I don't know how this tracks logic-wise, but the behind-the-scenes rumors were that Jim Irsay, he's friends with Jeff
They're drinking
Saturday.
buddies, I guess. Yeah.
But the other part is like they put together from the front office, they put together a very good offensive line, and their offensive line has sucked all season. Mm-hmm. Matt Ryan's been getting lit the fuck up all season. I think they've had 2 games this year where they've had 1 or less sacks, and this was one of them. Right? I don't know how that tracks logically that Jeff Saturday came in and goes, I was an offensive lineman, play better.
Yeah.
Because he had a week with the team. So it's
Right.
not
Well, he said he went in there and just like lit their ass, the offensive line's asses up. Like went in there and just yelled at them.
I mean, look, that's the offensive line might be the most important unit on the football team. You know what I mean? Because you can't do any of the shit. You can't run the ball. You can't throw the ball if you can't stay upright.
I agree.
And I mean, he had a few tricks in his back pocket, like Matt Ryan breaking off a 40-yard run.
Yeah, that helps.
Well, that was wild. But let's start with
run.
him even putting Matt Ryan in. He made the decision to switch from that Texas quarterback who fucking sucks.
Yeah, somebody interviewed. I don't know if it was him or Irsay or somebody else, but it was somebody on the staff because they said it was they didn't give their name, but it was like, yeah, he just walked in the office and said, I can't win with Sam. I need Matt Ryan to be in there, and he was like, all right, fine, do what you want.
Well, he did what he wanted, and they ended up winning. Derek Carr afterwards gave maybe the most bizarre press conference I've ever seen, in which he broke down crying. And it took him on average, and somebody was timing this online, 19 seconds between pauses there of crying to actually give full answers. Not really sure why. That's your quarterback who you signed for a couple $100 million.
Well, he was saying that everybody works so hard. Like, actually, he kind of divided the team this week because he was like, a lot of us are working really hard, and to have this outcome, it just sucks. Like, what do you mean a lot of us?
Yeah.
Because there's an implication there. A lot of us is not all of us.
Right.
So who's he?
Maybe he's talking to McDaniels.
Yeah, he may be. So Josh McDaniels' press conference, he was like, the Raiders are building, but it's a slow, painful process. I'm sorry, you've got a quarterback that's been in the league for 6 years now. You've got the best wide receiver on the planet. You've got Josh Jacobs, the Rookie of the Year, and who almost won fucking Offensive Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. What exactly is the process you're using right now? You've got like Waller, all these guys. Look, they're all hurt now, but they weren't hurt the whole season.
Jacobs played. Adams played. Adams had 9 receptions for 126 yards.
Jacobs had a big game.
Jacobs had a big game too. So yeah, you're missing your starting tight end, but fuck off with that.
Well, they're missing more than that. Hold on, let me look at the injury.
But you're still playing with the best wide receiver in the league, and then a great starting running back. Me personally, it's the fucking quarterback. He's 24 for 38.
It's time for McDaniels to dust off the Patriots visor. Yeah, go back home.
He's going back home.
Wait,
right?
so who's a recently retired Raiders player that they can bring back to coach?
Oof, fuck.
I don't know any.
Somebody like
Antonio
broke it down.
Brown,
Yeah.
But he never actually played a game for him.
No,
he got himself kicked off the team before the season.
Howie
You know
Long.
what?
Just bring back Howie Long.
Randy Moss.
yeah.
Howie Long fits the Jeff Saturday. model.
Howie Long
yeah.
does, yeah. Just pull everybody off the booth. Get Bradshaw to go coach the Steelers and call it a day. But that was a very strange game. Didn't bet it. The Raiders are now 2-7, which makes me unbelievably happy. And to lose to Jeff Saturday.
I don't understand the Raider hate.
What do you mean?
I don't get why you hate the Raiders so much.
Their fan base. So Dan and I have to travel with their fan base is always on our flights for some reason. They will do the chants on the airplanes, like every fucking place
Like
we
actual
go.
good teams. You don't see, like, when the Yankees are in the World Series, you don't see a plane full of assholes just yelling about
Screaming out, let's go Yankees. Yeah, you don't see it.
No.
The Raiders are like soccer fans. They're hooligans.
No, they're like losers.
But they're losers, though.
Yeah,
like
they
they
don't
haven't
win
won
shit.
anything.
To be fair, all NFL fans are kind of losers.
Yeah.
No, but
I mean,
but
like
the Raiders
the team.
itself
Is a
hasn't
loser
won since
organization.
like
But
1980.
I feel like the worst type of like super fan you can be in a sport is NFL.
An NFL super fan.
Yeah, for some reason I look down on them the most.
Like Cowboys fans.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
It's probably so for me. My onesie twosies: Raiders at 1, probably Cowboys fans at 2.
By the way,
What's more pathetic though? Like Cowboys are kind of relevant in the conversation. Imagine being like a super fan. There's a couple like that are pretty notable on the internet in Detroit.
Yeah, that's true.
They're Lions fans. And
Yeah.
they've never seen like pretty much success ever.
Sure, yeah, but you don't run into a whole lot of super obnoxious Detroit Lions fans.
In
There's
public.
a couple.
Not in public, though.
you could probably name them.
Right. Who
Yeah.
could possibly at the and I honestly respect you if you have if you're that oblivious.
Yeah.
Like that you are like an arrogant Lions fan. I want to meet that person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to hang out with
I
that
want to
guy.
know
Scotty
the people
Mitchell coming
though.
back,
Yeah, you're putting on the face paint every Sunday morning.
Yeah.
At the shoulder pads for the Raiders.
That's
Spikes.
Cowboys, Packers.
Yes. This game was. I did not bet this game because I figured this out. This would happen, dude.
Well, so one, Dak Prescott is not good.
No.
I was talking shit about him on Twitter after he threw that one pick. So they score. Green Bay turns the ball over. They got the ball again, and he immediately throws a fucking pick. That's why Dak Prescott will never win a fucking Super Bowl.
27 for 46.
He doesn't
in this
have.
Yeah, it's time to go.
He doesn't have the sense. Like, he doesn't have that fucking killer instinct where, all right, man, we've got him on the ropes right now. One more good punch, and we're good.
Gotta
He
bring
just
in
doesn't
Dan
do it.
Mullen.
He fucks up. So.
Yeah.
Bring in Dan Mullen as
Yeah.
like an offensive system.
The other part of this is that the fucking I can't remember the exact stat, but I believe it is that the Packers are 22-1 when they run the ball 40% or more of the time.
And Aaron Jones had 24 carries in this game for 138 yards.
Now, if you knew a stat like that and you told your quarterback that, like if we run the ball 40% of the time or more, we've got a 90% chance of winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
And he says no, it's time to fucking cut him and find a new quarterback. I don't give a fuck what his name is.
But the problem is he's signed to a big deal as well, 240, and he's just started it.
He can be cut after this season with no cap.
Yeah, it's whatever guaranteed money is. That's the only thing.
But
that
his
matters in the
guaranteed
NFL.
money, I believe, is 120.
Not after this year.
You can look it up.
He can be moved without a serious cap hit after this year.
No, I know a cap hit, but they'll have to pay him personally, right?
Who cares? They don't
120.
care. It's just money. NFL teams don't give a shit about that.
My God, dude, it's crazy.
There's a $66 million sign. It's $160 million, $66 million signing bonus.
Yeesh. Why did they do? I said this when they signed him. Why do they do this?
Because you have to. It's the market.
It's not.
It is. That's
It
the
is like
market.
literally. It's whoever the highest paid quarterback in the league is the next guy up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
whoever you have to resign.
But
Like,
but during this re-signing period, they had a shot at the draft because they had a decent pick to go get a quarterback.
no Jordan Love.
Oh God, dude, this is not the Packers, the Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
With the Cowboys, I said not to take Prescott on this fucking contract, draft somebody, and then kind of start over.
Oh, you're talking about Dak. I thought you were talking
yeah,
about
I'm not
Aaron
talking about
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers isn't going anywhere. They're not going to fucking do anything with that guy.
I mean, I'm talking. So the Packers, when they run the ball 40% or more of the time, they win almost every game, like 22-1, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So that seems like you've got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Why are you not doing that every single week?
I
And it's
agree.
because of Aaron Rodgers. That's why I fucking dislike him so much.
He
It's not
still had
because-
3 touchdown passes. in
Yeah,
this
because
fucking
he
game.
let the fucking run game open up the offense for him.
I
That's
agree.
why.
He has a truly bad haircut right now.
It's
terrible.
It's pretty rough, but I don't
It's
care about
terrible.
it. He's going full Con Air. He's
Yeah.
he's into the look, and it's just going to be like that for a while. I'm not worried about that.
or his
Dak,
swinging couples. down below.
but still, he's on his worst day better than fucking Dak Prescott. Dak
Yeah.
Prescott is a fucking joke in the NFL.
Yep.
Just fucking move on, dude.
I agree. Speaking of moving on here, the Cardinals had to move on yesterday because Murray was hurt. Now, this is a quarterback who was a winner at Texas. This is Colt McCoy.
Well, until his arm went full noodle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
National
that
championship.
wasn't his fault.
I can't feel my arm, pops.
Couldn't. He sure couldn't. But he has somehow been in the league for 10 years and was able to lead the Cardinals to victory over the fucking Rams.
He does this a lot.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy. How bad are the Rams?
He's
that,
a
that
great
Colt
relief
McCoy.
pitcher.
But that Colt McCoy is able to beat the Rams at home?
Rams
He,
stink.
yeah, he usually does this on prime time though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Look,
he usually does this on like a Monday night game.
The Rams won the Super Bowl last year, and they were a good team last year. But Sean McVay has there's like an ebb and flow. Like he's had terrible seasons in the NFL.
They also lost OBJ, and they lost
Vaughn.
fucking Von Miller. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like
and also
Man.
hasn't there been like a serious regression of Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah.
as
And
well.
Stafford's a corpse.
Yeah,
Yep.
Like
They got what they needed out of Stafford. They got what they needed.
they
got a
got the
championship.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, they
so
got a-
like
they got
if
a
you're a
title.
Rams fan, you're not really.
And if you're a
pissed
Rams
off.
fan, you're fictional.
Well, yeah, exactly,
yeah.
because they don't exist. But do you draft a quarterback if you're the Rams?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
100%.
You have to. Do they even have, but do they have picks? Because I
yeah.
remember they got rid of like all of their picks.
They did.
There'll be enough good quarterbacks in 2 and 3. So
No, like they got rid of all of their picks.
oh, all of them altogether.
They're kind of fun. I mean, they completely sold out for this Super Bowl.
Okay.
I honestly want to know what's like their first pick in the draft coming up.
Look that up. In the meantime, to round out the night last night was Chargers 49ers. That was an entertaining game.
19. They're not going to get a quarterback at 19. I mean, they could grab somebody, but
So
No,
they do not
that's-
have a first round pick in 2023.
Yeah, no, that's going to the Lions.
They don't have a
oh, I see. Yeah, you're right.
3.
Yeah,
so all their picks, they traded all of them.
They have
away.
6 picks, none in the first round.
But they got a second and a third.
They
right?
have a second and a third, 3 in the 6th, none in the 4th or 5th, and then 1 in the 7th.
Gets one in
Why
the
do you want
sixth.
3 in the 6th?
That's just what they had to do. And then next year they're back to roughly normal. They just don't have a 7th round pick.
Okay. All right.
But this year, yeah, they're not drafting anybody this year.
49ers game capped it off last night against the Chargers. That
was a good
game. Yeah.
That's kind of the game at the beginning of the season that I would have expected this to be.
Yep.
And then maybe 6 games ago, I would have thought 49ers would have blasted them in the ass, and this is about what I expect.
I mean, how much of a disappointment are the Chargers this year? They have, I
man.
believe, the top NFL's top 100 preseason. They had the most players on the top 100.
They
list.
did, and
mostly on the defensive side, too.
Here's the weird thing. I feel like they're losing every week, and then I looked at their record. They're still 5-4, so they're in it.
They can't run the ball, man. That's a problem.
They can't do a lot of
Eckler's
things
not been
there.
good this year. They can't run
They
the
didn't score
ball.
any points in the second half.
When you have a great defense like that, you can't. It's the thing we were talking about with Harbaugh before. Great defense plus Patrick Mahomes, you might be okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a great defense plus a second-tier quarterback with good wide receivers in the NFL, you're probably going to lose, man. You have to be able to control the clock.
Yep.
And you can't do it with the fucking. Well, Tom Brady was able to do it with short passes for years, but nobody else is.
Yeah, but short passes are basically a running game.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
what I'm
you're
saying.
yeah, you're
pretty
eating
good.
clock.
But
yeah.
who else has been able to do that consistently over the course of an NFL career? Aaron Rodgers can't do it, and he's the best goddamn.
Yeah.
NFL
The West
that can
Coast
get I've ever
offense.
seen.
The biggest surprise, though, is everything you're talking about is actually everything the 49ers are now. They have a great running game.
That's why
going
they
back
won,
and forth between
That's
Mitchell
why
and
they
McCaffrey.
won this game.
Yes.
That's why they won this game. Like, you don't want what they avoided in this game was giving Herbert the ball back at the end to have a chance. They were able to control the clock in the fourth quarter. It's a skill that Mike McCarthy does not have.
And I'm
he's the worst in the NFL.
And he'll be out
I'm
after this year.
so excited to watch Kyle Shanahan not run the ball in the Super Bowl in the second half. I'm so excited to see Christian McCaffrey with his thumb up his ass.
He's gonna throw a fucking what's that running play where the running back makes a U shape? I don't remember what it's called. A hook, maybe? Yeah, it's a hook.
Hook and ladder?
Hook and
or-
ladder.
Not a
Yeah.
hook and ladder.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully, it's the NFC Championship game, but
They're gonna
for
try
the
to throw
Eagles.
a
for
fucking.
you.
They're gonna try to throw
For
it
some
inside.
reason, they're up like 14 at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and Garoppolo just starts slinging it for the entire fucking quarter.
Yeah.
They just throw it. They're just like Debo Samuel run a post route the entire fucking time.
listen, have faith in the altar of Shanahan. All right,
I love him. I think he's great. I would want him as my coach. I would 100% want him as my
he gets you there.
He
He'll
gets
get
you
you
there.
there.
And at some point,
He's not going to win it, but he'll get
Maybe
you there.
like in that fourth quarter, you just remove him from the field.
yeah.
Be like, all right,
you
I'm out.
kneecap him going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you take them off. Speaking of which, our show is brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. We are betting on tonight's game as well. Speaking of the Eagles, it is the Eagles tonight against the Redskins. That game, kids, is minus 11 for Philadelphia. The over-under is 43.
Too much.
D'Anthony, where are you going with this?
No, I'm not betting this. I mean, honestly, I could see the fucking Eagles winning by 40 fucking points.
Yep.
But I don't think it'll happen. I mean, the Commanders have been playing real tough lately. Their defense is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a closer game than 11. I would take – I guess I'll take plus 18 Washington probably and just tease it up.
And then where are you going with that over-under 43 then? Because you have to do both.
I'm not.
Well, you can't just
Yeah, no, I'm not sure
You
yet.
can like have a vacant
the under.
spot, like a future spot.
Yeah, I'll
for
probably
the
tease down
teaser.
the over.
So because that's where I'm going. I'm going to take. Well, go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm just gonna say it's a Commanders plus 11.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's
it's
safe.
a one-score game.
I think that's
Yeah.
safe. I think Commanders plus 11 is fine. But if you did tease, I would go Commanders 18 and whatever
What,
the
under-
over
under-
jack the over up.
What about under 50? I mean,
To take jack the over under up so you can take the under on the teaser.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do then.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Philly -4 in this one, and I'm gonna take this over under down to 36.
I think you're gonna see quite a bit of Miles Sanders tonight because the Commanders have really been good about getting to the quarterback lately. We saw it in that game. They fucking lit the Packers up with it the game before.
A lot of short
game.
passes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Devonta Smith has a big night. I've got him on fantasy in my flex. I got him in 2 leagues to win tonight, and I need him to come through. If they are rushing, those quick 5-yard slants to Devonta Smith will be fucking great. But the Eagles will be 9-0 at this point. Has that ever happened?
No, we've never been 8-0.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Look at you, dude. Living your best life. Fucking Joel Embiid dropped 59 last.
Let's go.
Yeah, you notice why they're good again, right?
We got to get rid of Doc Rivers.
Nope. Harden's not playing. So you're all good, dude.
Right. But
You're
we
gonna
need to
keep
get rid
winning.
of Doc Rivers, too.
Speaking of getting better,
We can hire Stephen A. Smith.
what's it called? Addition by subtraction.
Uh-huh.
The Nets are winning games now because Kyrie Irving's suspended.
Weird, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Weird.
But I guess he's having meetings with people, and they're gonna decide that.
I assume he's
something-
walking into these meetings with the rabbis and is like, okay, explain to me how you don't run the world.
Yeah, the other
And
part
they're like, that's not.
the other part that everybody's glossing over is LeBron's defense of him, saying, I thought that the suspension was unnecessary and he served his time, and I think we should move on from it, and he should definitely be playing. That was fucking weird to me.
Hashtag stop hate.
Well, does it feel like a lot of black players are like, hey, dude, this might be a thing?
Did you watch Saturday Night Live?
I did, and I thought
That barbershop sketch?
Or what
about the Chappelle monologue,
Chappelle's
yeah.
monologue was the greatest monologue in SNL history.
Yeah,
was
some
really
fucking
funny.
loser on the Daily Beast. I think his
Yeah.
name is Matt Wilstein or some stupid shit like that. He was like, Chappelle propagates further propagates anti-Semitic remarks by Kanye. Like, no, he didn't. He said that he made a very distinct point. He said, I got to Hollywood. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of Jews in
There sure
show
is.
business.
Yep.
And then he was like, there's also a lot of black people in Ferguson, Missouri. That doesn't mean they're running the show there, does it?
Yeah.
Like, so he very distinctly made the point that the trope is a bad interpretation of the data. That's the joke that he told.
Right.
And then the guy's like, oh, fucking anti-Semitic. I guess black lives don't matter, man.
I guess not. But looking at it, he didn't get any fucking flack from it. LeBron James.
Yeah, look, LeBron says that Kyrie makes some good points. The
Dips his
World
toe
Cup,
in,
the
yeah.
Slave World Cup is about to start. Like, it's fine. Like, nothing matters.
Oh, yeah, they're having problems right now. All the beer sponsors, they're like, you can't really advertise on the stadiums, and you got to be kind of hidden.
Yeah.
So Team USA, apparently they've got morality police out on patrol to make sure no dudes are fucking settling down together.
Yes.
And things like that. So
Yep.
Team USA
has changed their logo on their jersey
Yeah,
to a rainbow flag
Now-
instead of an American flag.
Normally,
That's kinda funny.
Normally, something like that, I would be like, just fuck off. But in this case, I kind of like it, to be honest, because fuck Qatar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I want to touch some dude's butthole
Yeah.
with my wiener, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's none of your fucking business. And there's with the shit going on in Iran right now where they're about to execute 15,000 people for protesting because someone was brutalized for wearing the wrong hijab. Not even not wearing one. Just
Right.
wearing it, either wearing the wrong one or wearing it incorrectly.
Incorrectly, yeah.
And you're just going to fucking murder 15,000 people. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
This is an appropriate use of a fucking rainbow flag. Not one that's just like, oh, we're so abused in America. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're not.
Yeah.
Because you're still alive, asshole.
It's crazy, man.
I think it's funny. We should do this every time. Anytime there's a foreign World Cup or Olympics, we find the one thing that pisses that country off, and we just make our
Make
whole
jerseys.
logo that.
100%.
Like the whole thing. I don't. What would like for Germany? It's just like a fucking instead of the American flag thing, it's the star or it's the what do you
Star of
call it?
David?
No,
Yeah,
no,
they don't
no.
really like to talk about the Holocaust.
What's the Hanukkah thing?
A menorah.
Yeah,
menorah.
the menorah, yeah.
Make it a menorah with just USA over the top of it. Like, sorry, Jews.
Sorry, just
We're just co-opting your plight for a little while.
it's fucking insane. When does that start, Giorgio? When's the World Cup
For
start?
this week?
Yeah,
right?
this week.
Yeah, this
latest.
week coming up.
Okay. I love watching the World Cup. I hate that it's in Qatar, but it's a
It'll
blast.
be during the day though.
It is, yeah, and it really is the world's finest soccer, and it's a fucking blast to watch. I just wish it wasn't in that fucking
will the
country.
U.S. team even make it out of the group stage?
That was my next question.
Well, we play.
We open with Wales.
right?
Okay.
So we got to play Gareth Bale.
Oh shit, we play Iran. Iran's in our fucking league.
No way,
So
dude.
it's England, Iran, US,
Oh, we better make
Wales.
it out. Jesus.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Iran and Wales should not be doing shit.
No.
Is it the Wrexham team from Wales? Is that who it is?
That is not them.
Did Ryan Reynolds
That's
have
He
enough
will be-
money to
he
get
will-
them in?
That's not
will
how
be
that
there.
works.
Will he be there?
I assume he's famous.
Since Gareth Bale plays for a MLS team, can we have him now?
He has to be here for like 10 years.
10 years, yeah. And I don't think, by the way, I don't think any celebrities will be caught dead going to Qatar for this bullshit.
No.
They'll still go.
I don't think so. Not to this one.
It doesn't sound fun. Like, I
No.
understand having the World Cup in, like, Dubai. That would be...
That sounds way better.
It'd be a
Like,
rager.
Qatar? That's like... It's like a backwater country, too. Like, it's not like Dubai or something where they have, like, crazy future cities and the cops literally drive Lamborghinis. Like, Qatar... like, imagine if... like the shitty, like Mississippi had oil. You know what I mean? Like a lot of oil. These people are not like cool at
No,
all.
Qatar is a smaller Saudi Arabia. That's all it is.
But even
the same.
less like.
But they don't booze. They don't do anything, right? Yeah.
And at least
But there's
Saudi-
still parts of
the
Saudi
Saudis-
Arabia where you can like fuck around.
And they
right?
spend their money cool ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't get me to go to a place without booze.
I think we should have the next World Cup in Haiti.
Let's go.
Just like in a bombed out fucking stadium. Who
Yeah.
cares? Pete, like there's cannibals.
Then you
and-
just hang out in the DR.
yeah, witches.
Exactly.
Well, you got to climb the mountain, dude.
yeah, you got to
You
climb
got
the
to climb
mountain,
the
bro.
mountain.
Climb the mountain.
Yeah, we're in with Iran, England,
Yeah, if we don't get out of
and
this group,
Wales.
We're terrible.
it's a fucking
Man.
joke.
Yeah.
I really want to watch this World Cup, but like it feels like this is the only time that I could like conceivably say I'm against slavery because it's easy to not watch it. Like
But-
it's not easy to not have an iPhone.
This is the greatest U.S. soccer player we've ever had.
I know, and he didn't get to.
Christian Pulisic
Oh, is he on this team?
from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
great.
didn't get to play in the last World Cup because we were so shitty we didn't even make it.
Hershey Squirts, PA.
Craig says the only way the U.S. team is winning is if you're coaching.
I know. Speaking of which, I won my third title back to back, dude. We went undefeated, Giorgio, with one tie. We had one tie.
That still counts.
No.
It counts. Yeah.
In soccer, it counts.
I mean,
we
it
won
is
you get
literally
one point for that.
By
undefeated.
definition, yeah.
Yeah, you're undefeated.
third back to back, and no lie, this was a conversation with the commissioner afterwards when I picked up the trophies. I asked if my girl could play in leagues up through like 7 years old, and they said yes. So I am definitely going to coach against you with my girl beating your boy.
I'm excited for my boy to brutalize your daughter.
Yeah. We'll see.
He's going to kill one birdie with one stone.
What happens, though, if she wins the game? Does the child then immediately go to Delco's house?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the kid will probably get
Yeah, but
stolen
then
out of his truck on the way home.
Then
but-
I'll just drop the kid off at the fire engine.
yeah,
Like,
you put him in the box.
You put him in the box. You got to put him in that box, to-go box.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they said they were fine with it up until
I'm surprised
the
it's
U10
only
league.
until 10.
Well, 10, you notice a difference at 10. I will
Yeah.
say that the kids are bigger. Where you're
Not
just
if
like,
you
oh,
do.
shit.
If you start giving them hormone therapy.
Well, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, you know. We'll see.
I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, dude. Because I kind of want a trans to fuck his kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I might do it. We'll see.
So
I
his-
mean, when my kid is of age, he can make love to whatever rainbow of genders he feels so
you know,
compelled to.
They might go to the same high school, and that's what it is. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Could be younger. Who knows? You know? We'll find out. UFC this weekend, by the way, Giorgio. That was a fucking amazing card, dude. My God. Thank God Stylebender got knocked the fuck out. That's the only thing that I wanted.
He was winning the fight.
He
too.
was winning the entire fight.
and he was looking. He was entertaining at least too. He
Well,
almost
he
knocked
didn't-
out Pereira in the first round.
He didn't have a choice but to be entertaining, right? Because of the opponent.
Brought the fight to him.
Yes. And then he got knocked out again, which is fucking awesome, dude.
know.
It's great. It's great for the
know.
UFC. It's great for the UFC.
Because they're going to run it back.
Yes, probably, right?
Yeah.
So that was my question. You think that'll be next?
They
Like
absolutely
they'll just do it
should,
again?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, they both knocked each other out at different points in that fight because Pereira came this close. What you can't say about Adesanya is that he's got a glass jaw because he got rocked and he stayed on his feet.
Yep.
Like they had to fucking call. They had to stop the fight because he wasn't going down.
Oh,
He
yeah.
got hit like 4 times in a row in the fucking face. It was pretty impressive. to be honest.
Yeah. What are you going to say, Giorgio?
I mean, it was technically a knockout, but he didn't get knocked unconscious.
Is that what TKO means?
Yes.
He got dropped,
Thanks,
though.
Giorgio.
He got dropped.
That's what
He
I'm here
came
for,
back
Dan.
up. He got dropped.
The rest of the card, what'd you think, Giorgio?
A lot happened. A lot of good fights.
Poirier,
Poirier, Chandler, didn't
Chandler,
disappoint.
always. I mean, Chandler's never been in a bad fight.
No,
ever.
dude. Those guys are entertaining as fuck.
Yeah.
Every single time. Molly Meatball lost.
Got her ass beat.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
Does it?
For Barstool, not for us. But
Does it?
yeah, for Barstool.
Dom Reyes got knocked out again, which is sad.
Yeah.
'Cause Ever since John Jones fight,
Got
he's been knocked out 3 straight times.
on the undercard.
Yeah.
Let's
it's
go
not a
ahead
good
and
look.
clarify that.
The only one I didn't watch was the Chinese chick.
Wei Li Zhang,
Yeah. How was that fight?
she
Good.
won.
She's a beast.
Okay.
She destroyed Carla. And then Frank Yeager got ethered again, right into retirement.
Goodbye, Frankie.
Goodbye, Frank.
Thank you for all your years of service, moving the sport forward, and carrying the torch for the Americans during a time in which other countries are really dominating.
So he's all done, right? Like we
he's like
can't.
40.
We can't put him in the ring anymore at this point.
Probably
right?
not.
He's 41.
Probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think we should either. That was my takeaway too.
I wouldn't go to New Jersey and talk shit to him in a bar.
Well, no shit, but I
Yeah,
mean,
because
but
he's
as
got
far as
CTE
fighting
now, and he'll follow
professionally,
into the parking lot and blow your fucking brains out.
yeah, but as far as fighting again professionally, that
Right.
shouldn't happen,
He
right?
can coach, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, he could go fight in some other organization and be fine for a few years. Like, I mean, the guy still has like super high quality skills, but to be, main eventing a fight in the UFC, I think those days are
His last few fights, though, he's just been brutally knocked out every
Yeah,
time.
and you can say the same thing about Tony Ferguson. You can say the same thing about like Nate Diaz. If you were actually putting them against
well,
competition.
Nate Diaz
Well,
is
no,
out,
Tony didn't get.
and Diaz is out of the UFC.
And Nate Diaz hasn't been knocked out like in a long time.
If he still had the career Frankie was had and was like trying to compete for titles, and you weren't.
I'm
just,
saying
like,
it's the
throwing him
optics,
matches.
and it's also the brain damage he's taken to get knocked out that way.
Oh, completely. I just meant more as far as like where their skill sets still lie, as far as being able to compete at the highest level.
Yeah, but I mean that Cheeto kick alone probably he should have retired after that.
Devastating.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't know.
How do you feel about
if,
Dan Hooker? Dan,
Dan Hooker won.
Relief.
yeah,
he did. How do you feel about it?
I like Dan Hooker. Do you not like Dan Hooker? I mean, it made sense. It was a drop in competition. His losses before him, where he was like 1-5 in his last 6 fights. They're against like Islam. They're against
Chandler. But then that 45 drop.
Poirier. So they were like top dudes.
But then he also lost to Riddle, right? Riddle.
No, he didn't fight Riddle.
Who do you lose to?
I don't know.
Yeah, either way.
yeah. Where does Dan Hooker go after this?
He's staying
it's-
at 155.
Yeah. Do you like him better at 55?
Yeah, because he dropped down to 145 for no reason.
Yeah,
and
looked
then
terrible.
he said so. He's like, that was a mistake.
Can he compete at the highest level anymore, or is he like some sort of gatekeeper?
No, he's a
around
good
the 10?
gatekeeper. He's a good 6, 7, 8,
You think he's that high?
maybe.
You think who would actually win in a fight between Dan Hooker and Conor McGregor?
Connor.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wondering.
All right,
This is the most boring conversation I've ever been a
Sure
part of.
is.
trying to
Well,
make
Giorgio's
Dan
just
say something,
high.
but
George
no,
is
not at
super
all.
fucking high.
I don't give a
today.
fuck about any of these people.
Yeah, when's the next big card? What do we got?
It's going to be December.
Yeah, December sometime. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah,
Let's see. Fight night. 282. Oh, that's the Glover.
Glover Yuri, which was fight of the year.
And then Jan
Running it back.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
fighting Anokov Magomed, which would be pretty good. Patty's on that card against Jared
Yeah,
Gordon,
there
which
we
I
go.
feel is not really a step up in competition.
that's fine. You want to see him keep winning, dude. Patty the Batty. You want to see the legend grow. I like that.
Yeah.
I'll watch it for him.
And then get murdered.
Exactly.
Once they can no longer just like call fights for him.
But you need names, and you got to continue
Now
to.
you have names right after that.
Who you got?
Well, you got freaking Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell fighting Ilian Taporia. And they've been talking a lot of shit back and forth.
Never heard of either of those people. Patty the Batty, though, I've heard of.
Thug Nasty is a flat earther, I believe.
He's a flat earther,
great.
and he got Reebok to make camo shorts. He wouldn't stop shouting at Reebok on the mic after every fight until they finally got him some camo shorts.
Why does he want camo shorts?
Because he's the most hick-jawed, whatever redneck person of all time.
Okay, great. Right. Well, that I can get behind. Flat Earth and rednecks. Let's go. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it brings us back to the origins of UFC, which is the tough man competitions back in the day. I don't know if you guys ever saw any of this bullshit in the late 80s, early 90s. Ross was in college, I think, then.
Nope. No, just a small boy.
It was just whatever asshole wanted to show up in whatever gear they had.
It was a blast.
And they
UFC
fought in a
1
square ring until somebody was dead.
UFC 1, 2, and 3 is. You can go back on ESPN Plus and watch it. It's nuts.
That's
'Cause,
nuts.
like, there's dudes that
I didn't
fight in jeans. There's
Oh, yeah,
guys
dude.
that fight like.
Yeah, Tank Abbott fought in cut off jeans.
Yeah, I did.
And you
It's
do all the
hilarious.
fights in one night, so it's like a King of the Ring style. And sometimes some guy who
It's a
hadn't
real
fought
Grand
all
Prix.
night
Yeah.
was in the finals because the other guy got hurt. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
how's that? How do
It's
you get like a
it's
free
fun.
pass to the
It was a
finals?
blast
It was
to
it was
watch.
a true Grand Prix, no weight classes,
Yeah.
nothing, man.
Yeah, and then Gracie's just fucking up some dude that came out of the crowd because everyone
And he
else
was using his
injured.
gi to fucking
Yeah.
choke him out.
To trick people, basically.
It's great.
He's like, yeah, grab my gi.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I love that.
We'll switch on over to college basketball. So I was at a child's birthday party on Friday night.
Did you dunk on one of the kids?
Tried to. There was
Yeah.
no hoops. It was raining that night. But what I was surprised to see in the background at my buddy's house was the Michigan State Gonzaga aircraft carrier
Yes.
game.
Yep.
Had no promotion. Was on a Friday night.
That's college basketball, baby.
Yeah.
Why? Like
That is
that's
weird.
usually a Saturday, Sunday game, and it's a whole thing. Why was it on a Friday night? I enjoyed it because nothing
Well,
was
it
going
was-
on Friday night, but it was a
You know-
great fucking game.
You know what Friday was?
What? Oh, Veterans Day. Yes. Obviously. But I didn't, it always confuses me when they actually celebrate the holiday because nobody was off. And is that a new thing, Dan? Do you not get the day off for Veterans Day anymore?
It's not quite the bank holiday that like Memorial Day is.
Yeah, I don't think Veterans it's a federal holiday, but I don't know if it's an excused absence type.
I don't remember ever getting Veterans Day.
I think
off.
there's
Yeah.
only,
Okay.
I think there's only 10 of those a year. It's like Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve and New Year's,
Thanksgiving.
Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Thanksgiving. I don't
Labor-
think
Labor Day.
but Martin
Memorial
Luther
Day
King
and Labor
Day.
Day are on there. I don't think that Veterans Day is a day off.
Yeah, okay. Just curious. So they played it on the actual day, and it was that night. It was a great fucking game. Did you guys watch it?
Gonzaga came back.
They
were
did.
down double digits
Yep.
and won the game.
There'll be a really good team that loses in the Sweet 16.
They sure will.
There's a lot of
This is a deep, fun field.
There's a deep, high-scoring field in college basketball this year. It's going to be a pretty fun tournament. I
Yeah,
think.
I
It's gonna
can't
be a
wait till
fun
Drew.
season.
Can't wait till Drew Timmy gets in the tournament. Actually goes up against a real center and then just gets a lunch.
pretty much.
Yeah,
With the word,
without
Kentucky.
without his other fucking tall boy next to him
Yeah.
this year, he's going to get fucking bruised.
Well,
a
that's the
little
thing too.
bit.
Yeah.
Oscar Tshiebwe, like at Kentucky, he's got some injuries going on right now that they're kind of keeping on the DL.
he
Yes.
does, but I love Kentucky's roster.
No. North Carolina's 1, Gonzaga 2, Houston at 3,
Houston's good.
Kentucky at 4, Baylor at 5, tied with Kansas, Duke, UCLA, Arkansas, and Creighton is in the top 10.
Creighton's good. Creighton's a good program. But
UCLA, I think realistically might have a chance to win a Pac-12 or have the Pac-12 win a natty this year.
they're pretty much their only chance at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't love the Pac-12 in basketball anymore.
I mean, USC came out of the gate stumbling.
Yeah. I think, honestly,
That's their only ranked team. Oh, Arizona. I got Arizona.
Arizona's good.
Arizona's fine. They're fine. Like, they're not going to do anything, but they're fine. Like, they're a good program now for
can't wait
sure,
till
but
they
they're a
win
little.
the natty.
I think they're still a little squishy. Like, look what happened last year. We were at the fucking game. Like, they went up against the fucking Houston team that they're tough bastards, and Arizona went right the
Yeah,
fuck
but a
away.
lot of people are saying Lloyd's the reason Gonzaga was so successful.
Maybe TCU wins the CFP and then comes here. They're 15th. Then they win.
Yeah, they win in basketball.
Like what?
Pull Florida?
Baylor almost did
Yeah.
it.
Baylor was close. Florida
Yeah.
did it.
Florida did it. What was that? 2011.
No, 2008.
2008.
Yeah. I was at both games that year. 'cause they
Yeah,
were
both against Ohio State.
Oh, Tennessee will actually be good this year too.
They lost.
Yeah, they lost.
It's the beginning of the season.
I get
it
it, but they
doesn't
lost a home game to Colorado, who's not that good.
Colorado's fine.
I don't think anybody's beating North Carolina this year.
Well, a lot of teams are going to beat North Carolina. It's basketball.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
but as far as for the national championship,
I gotta tell you, man. The more I think about it, the two teams I really, really love, and this isn't like a huge shock because they're both good, are Houston. I'm a big Houston stan. Kelvin Sampson, and then
On paper, Houston probably has the best team.
I think they're and dude, Houston is the new Syracuse. They're the team that is always going to win games in the tournament.
And you're going to hate it. We're going to go to the Final Four. We'll go to like some type of tournament game, and you'll see Houston win a game like 48 to
But they got
40s.
they've always got athletes. So if you're not shooting well that night, or you're
well, they'll make you not shoot well too because
Yeah.
they have. So they actually their
Play
size
defense.
Their size on the roster isn't that good in terms of like straight up and down height, but it's length. Like they have so much fucking length.
They're like old school Florida State.
yeah.
you know?
Do they go to the Final Four?
Yes.
Okay. and
Especially since it's in Houston, I think there's actually
So I was going to
motivation.
say, Houston in Houston would be pretty fucking wild to see.
Yeah, and this is a school, by the way, that does have like a pretty proud basketball history with Phi
Oh,
Slam
yeah.
and Jamma and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
There's some other news. Kentucky signed the #1 ranked recruit, but we're expecting. I read. I don't remember where I read it. Maybe it was on Twitter, but to hear from Bronny James where he's going, and Ohio State is the favorite right now for that.
So is he going to college?
Yeah, he's going to college.
My
I think he's
understanding
gonna
is
go
he's
to
going to 1 year college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I think is probably better for you as a basketball
Yes.
player.
I did too.
Then the G League, you mean? Or
Yeah.
G League
Yeah.
Ignite? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Because there's like, I'm sure
The NIL deal will cover what the G League would pay. So
times like fucking 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
sure.
G League
He'll get
can't pay
10
shit.
mil,
I think
but-
you get paid what, like 40 grand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
also
bullshit.
like you actually learn how to like I know no knock to the G League, but
How to play
No,
system
complete
basketball.
knock to the G League.
you learn how to play actual competitive basketball against dudes who are trying to beat you in high pressure environments. Honestly, higher pressure environments than the NBA. You're never going to get a crowd in the NBA like you get if you go to fucking like Fog Allen in
Except in
Kansas.
playoffs.
What?
Playoffs.
Some playoffs, some teams.
Regular
like
season
Salt Lake.
Warriors games are like that when they get hot, but usually I think Warriors fans are kind of getting tired of them fucking around so much, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, the G League is never going to be able to pay him anything close. Although for a guy like that, I don't know if – I mean, one of these kids that have come up through the academies and stuff, and then you've got a dad who's like maybe one of the – he's one of the best like 5 basketball players of all time. Maybe you've got some insight that would shield you from some of that bullshit, but still, why not just go to college?
They should let LeBron go back to Ohio State.
And also going to
He's got
the
eligibility.
go to
he does.
school there.
Also
Let him go to school.
going to the right program
They can play together.
Yeah,
will
they could.
Yeah.
make him like probably I don't know if how like coachable he is or not. I don't know. He's probably not a piece of shit because LeBron James is a lot of things, but he's not like super. I mean, he's always been a pretty good player.
He's just corny.
He's just corny, but like this is definitely like it'll be an experience of like, hey, you shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's your time to listen to me.
Well, maybe. It depends on if LeBron gives him $40 million for a new basketball facility, right?
Well,
Right,
if he
yeah.
goes to Ohio State,
Holtman's a good coach.
Holtman's not only a good coach, but he's also tough and he's a taskmaster. And that stadium is brand new. It's a fucking NBA stadium there on campus, that Schottenstein Arena. It's where like Taylor Swift plays and shit like that. So they don't need any of those things. And,
I didn't even know Taylor Swift balled.
Oh, she did. Oh, she can fucking dunk,
What,
dude.
was she a power forward, probably?
No,
she
she's
would
tall.
actually probably be a power forward in the
Yeah.
WNBA.
You gonna be a
She's tall. She's 5'11".
you gonna be a big Butler fan this year with Thad Matta?
You know, I like Thad Matta, man, and I wish him success at Butler. The odd thing is we have Butler's coach, and now Butler has
And
our coach.
You know who's on that staff?
Who?
Greg Oden.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
What is he in charge of, like player development?
He's just
Or
an
what?
assistant.
He's an assistant coach,
At
but
Butler.
Oh, I see.
every time I go back to Ohio State, I see him every single time at the bar.
He's
Every
always
single
walking
time.
around with a bunch of books. Like, dude,
Well, he's in school.
quit reading, man.
No. He's
No,
trying
I
to
know
get
he
his
is,
degree.
but I
yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah.
What are you,
It's-
some kind of fucking nerd or something?
It's odd. He's
Kinda
always
is,
super
yeah.
friendly to everyone and a nice guy.
You do hear about him on campus a lot. Like, he just chills with people.
He's like a big
he's never
dork.
left
He's like
college.
a giant mascot for
Yeah.
the team,
Yeah.
which is pretty nice.
The only crazy story out of him was the dick pic, and the dick was just as crazy.
Can you
as hoped
imagine
it
what
would
his
be.
fucking hog looks like?
We-
Jesus Christ.
I
We
can't. I don't have to
show it?
imagine it. I've seen it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's got to be like a fucking just monstrosity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! I looked up pictures of dolphin dicks earlier today, and it looks like a fucking alien worm. Or some
It's not
shit.
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah,
I know
I
sweet
wanna-
dicks.
No, I want to see a nice dick.
no.
So do I.
Greg Oden has a nice dick. Like
Yeah.
for
That's
sure.
what I'm doing tonight.
Oh,
Greg-
just
looking at
Greg
Oden's
Oden's
Looking
dick.
at
Yeah.
Greg. It's
I think it was funny
could've
because like
been?
wasn't it he didn't get the angle right and he didn't realize that like he was pretty far away from the bathroom counter, but he didn't realize how long his dick was and still part of it is cut off from the bathroom counter, even though he's like standing,
Yeah, it's
which should be
wild.
more than enough of a distance away.
Right.
Still wasn't.
He's a giant black man.
Yeah.
No, but in real life, he's like 7'2". Like it's one of those shocking ones where you're like, what the fuck, dude? How is anybody that tall able to live their life?
$10
like a
to
normal
see
person?
it, 20 to touch.
Yeah.
That's his NIL deal.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure the fuck is. Fun game tonight. We'll let you get out of here. Get ready for the Eagles game tonight. Bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that deposit up to $1,000. And if you're getting tickets, go to drinkinbrostickets.com. We got tickets to all the events coming up here, including, I forget, because we live in Texas, the Cowboys game is always on Thanksgiving. So if you need tickets to that, go to drinkinbrostickets.com. And as always, go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. And then head over to Spotify. Just click a 5-star, and that's all you have to do there. That's all the advertisers care about. For D'Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, and Papa Giorgio, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap, everybody. Good morning.